Good afternoon. Appreciate y'all being here, and I mean that. I want to start off by thanking y'all for covering us. I mean that. Y'all appreciate the newspapers and the TV stations from our area and from some that are outside our area for being here. That's something that we don't take lightly. So I speak for our whole athletic department, our whole football program. I appreciate y'all being here and covering us. As typical of most football programs this time of the year, we're really excited. We've got a new football team, a new challenge. We're kind of pushed back the last couple of years. We're proud of what we've accomplished, but this is a new challenge coming upon us. And this is a team that I probably enjoyed coaching this football team as any of I've ever been around. It's a group of guys that are hungry. It's a group of guys that are really close, tight-knit chemistry-wise, and we're going to have a really good football team. When that's going to be, I'm not real sure. We're not a great football team today. Will we be a great football team when Boise comes into town? I don't know. Time will tell. But at some point during this season, we're going to have a really good football team, and I'm enjoying the process of watching these guys get better and compete. We had a good day today. Went about 45 to 50 plays with our first and our second group, and I thought there were some ups and some highs and lows on both sides, offensively and defensively. We held some guys out, so you can ask about any of those guys you want to, but we held some guys out of the full contact work, some of the guys that have played a lot of football. And you've heard me talk about this in the preseason. We've got a unique team in the fact that we only have 12 scholarship seniors, and really 6 of those guys were guys that were recruited here. 6 other ones were either grad transfers or guys that were walk-ons who earned scholarships. But we're not real youthful, if that makes sense, because a lot of our sophomores and juniors have played now going on 2 and 3 years. So it's a group. They're going to be a second and going to be their third year. So it's a group that's played a lot of football. We just don't have a whole lot in that senior class. But I like the makeup of our team, and I'm excited about seeing how we're going to grow, especially over the next 2 weeks. So with that, I'll open up to questions. Yeah. I thought that, and I knew that was kind of why I laughed. But I'll say this: I thought both guys have improved greatly from the spring, and the short answer to that is no. The long answer is this: I'm excited about both of them. Most of you all went down and watched us on the grass today. They both led significant length touchdown drives. They both had some deep passes. They both have the ability to run. You saw them break out of the pocket. Both of them make some plays. Probably could have had a couple more yardage if we allowed them to be full tackle. Also, both of them didn't handle a couple situations as good as we'd like them to, and that's part of the process. They're learning. And you've heard me say this too: is both of these guys have played. They haven't had to start yet, but they've gone in and played in some tough venues. They've had the fortune. We've been fortunate enough to be ahead, and they've been able to close out some games. I feel good about the quarterback position. I'm not. People ask me what keeps you up at night. The quarterback position does not keep me up at night. I think we're in good hands. I like the leadership capabilities of both guys. I like the dual threat ability of both guys. And one of them's going to win the job. Which one? Who's it going to be yet? We're going to let it play out a little bit. We've got another scrimmage on Friday night, another opportunity. We'll have a better idea after grading this scrimmage too, as far as who's on top. Honestly, I haven't put a whole lot of thought into it, Stacey. I mean, and if we know, we'll tell. I'm not trying to hold anything back. I mean, they have some similar qualities, so I don't think it benefits us to withhold it from Boise. Boise knows one of them's going to play. They've got video on both of them, so when we make that decision, we'll share it. It's not going to be any grand preview or anything. Gunnar Watson. Yeah, Gunnar Watson, true freshman, Gunnar Watson. And what we do on a day-to-day in practice is Sawyer and Caleb rotate with the ones and the twos, and then we two-spot all of our drills. And what I mean by that is if we're doing a 7-on-7 on one field with the ones, it would be the ones and the threes. Our twos and fours are on the other field, and Gunnar has gotten a lot of reps. And he's a guy that, with only 3 quarterbacks on scholarship, he's a guy that we've got to get ready to play. And I feel really good about him. He's a student of the game. He's a really good athlete. We've thrown a lot at him, and he had kind of his welcome to college football experience on Saturday. My days run together, so forgive me during football. Thursday night we practiced under the lights. We wanted to practice at 7 o'clock. Weather bumped us up a little bit. Long story short, we didn't get done to about 11. But he had kind of his welcome to college football. He got pick sixed a couple times, and to his credit, he bounced back yesterday and did some good things. And I thought he was solid today as well. Yeah, and that's the way it's going to be. You know, Mike, honestly, it's the way it's going to be. Was not very pleased with our running backs really through Wednesday. You know, we called them out, Coach Dawkins and myself. Thought they responded the last 3 days. We're still very much a work in progress there. B.J. Smith may be our most improved football player from spring practice to now. You saw him. We gave him a couple carries today. One was a really nice run on a third down play where he made Cobb miss and got vertical. But he's a guy that I trust. He's consistent in every aspect of his life, football and outside of football. I know what we're going to get out of him. But he's gotten more explosive over the last 4 or 5 months. Jamari's had a nice day today. He did. The last run he had in the 4-minute situation was special, and he's got that type of ability. He's just what we're hunting on him is he's got to be healthy and he's got to be consistent. And that, I think, not only myself, that's kind of what his teammates are looking out of him. But he's had three quality days. You know, we got a lot of defensive players coming back. We lost to several starters, but we got several starters coming back. I think the challenge defensively is we got to remain hungry. You know, I don't know if we practice like a hungry football team defensively today, but we do. We have a lot of team speed over there. I think we've got quality leadership on that side of the ball. Vic's done an outstanding job from a scheme-wise playing to the strengths of some of our talents of our guys. You know, Tron Folsom, Hunter Reese. I think those two guys in particular, Vic's done really an incredible. Him and Rookert, I would put in Rookert into that case too. He's done an incredible job of using those guys' strengths and allowing them to play right in their wheelhouse. So I feel good about where we're at defensively, what we're going to be. I think that we've got to be hungrier. We got to practice hungrier. I think we got to understand that just because we were really good, borderline great the last 2 years defensively, doesn't mean that's just going to happen. You know, we've got to continually get better on a daily basis. You know, offensively, took it on the chin all spring. You know, a couple missing pieces, but I mean, on a day-to-day basis, offensively, we took it on the chin. I don't think that was the case today, and it's been much more give and take so far in fall camp. Yeah, so Marcus last year really made a name for himself, made an All-American team as a kickoff return specialist and did a great job. And as the season went on, his defensive role continued to grow. And we actually played him in our dime package, what we call our speed package. That's where he got most of his playing time last year. And that lined him up in the slot, and he did a great job. And, you know, I think he was in our top 5 leading tacklers and had an incredible freshman year. And what the thing that sticks out about Marcus is extremely humble, one of our top performers day in and day out in off-season program, whether it's winter, summer, one of our most consistent players all spring, and he's been really consistent. Now what we're asking him to do is, hey, we still want you to be great in the return game, but now you got to play corner and you got to be an every down player, and that's the transition. I think he's handled it well. Him and Damian Willis have probably had the best one-on-one matchup in fall camp. Is just lining up against each other almost every snap and making each other better, whether it's a pass rep or a run rep. Yeah, I thought today was probably their best day of our fall camp so far. We got 4 guys that have played a lot of football. We've got a starting center that's been a 4-year starter. This is going to be his 3rd year starting as a center. Both guards, probably is 2 of our most talented guys on our team, and Kurt Kelly and Tristan Crowder. J.L. Gaston started every game for us last year, and he's going to be a much improved version of himself this fall. And then Austin Stidham, if we play tomorrow, will be our starting left tackle. And I'm pleased with his progression. The summertime, he's added some weight, he's added some strength. He's a technician, which is important. And we have some guys behind them that are really pushing depth-wise. That's what, and you can ask Coach Moore, but what I like about this group, for the first time really in our tenure here, we have real depth on the offensive line. And we can play probably anywhere from 8 to 9 guys up front. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, well, Trayvon's he's a load at nose, and I believe that he's ready to have a breakout year. I think he's an NFL quality player especially for a guy that's playing in a 3-down defense. He had his best summer that he's ever had here. As far as he's in the best condition he's ever been, as far as just being able to play more plays. He's been a spot player for us, and he's been a starter, but he hadn't been able to play consecutive plays, and he's been around that 35-40 play mark this far in his career. With the shape he's in now, and he's taking better care of his body, he needs to get up in that 50+ snap range. I think he can, and he's done and I'll say this too, Mike. He's done a great job leading, that defensive front too. He's done a nice job, and he's growing and he's maturing in that realm. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll talk about it each side of the ball. How's that? Is that good? Okay, so offensively, the guys that are really kind of are going to have an opportunity to play early, and some guys that have really stood out. I think that at receiver, Demontrez Brown, he came in here on a mission. He looks the part. He's ever been a 6'2 plus. He's 210. Caught a big post ball today for a touchdown. I think from a physically being ready and making plays, he hasn't blinked. I've been impressed with what he's done. If you look at Daniel Crowell, who was a late signee for us. He's from East Mississippi Junior College. Had 2 years there where he was one of their top leading receivers 2 years in a row, and he's ready from a physical standpoint. He's got to get in better shape. He's got to play himself into shape, but he's dynamic. He'll add another dimension to us. And then up front, I think Jake Andrews has a place, has an opportunity to play early. He's from a strength standpoint, he's there. Whether it's going to be center or guard to be determined, but I think he's got an opportunity to push for early playing time. Defensively, just starting on the defensive line, Will Cholo from Archer High School in the Atlanta area. He's a guy that we're going to get ready to play. We feel like he needs to play. Jarvis Hayes, junior college transfer, he's going to push for a starting position at that defensive end position. At 3 technique, Travis Salo, who's from Sipsey Valley, who Itawamba Junior College. And then I think KJ Robertson from Thompson High School. Been impressed with him. He hadn't blinked, gone in there. I don't think the stage is too big for him. And then I think another guy that I named to know, TJ Harris at safety. I think he's got a chance to be in our top 3 or 4 at that position. I'm sure I forgot somebody, but those are guys. Lavon Fletcher from Randolph in North Alabama, really competitive guy too. He'll be a redshirt freshman, yeah. Yeah, he does. You see us practice a lot, Mike, and there's not a scrimmage that goes by or a day in practice where he doesn't make a meaningful play. And he catches the football, but here's the thing: I think people look at him sometimes. The guy's an athlete now. I mean, he can run. He can run. He jumps well. He's explosive. He's got great hand-eye coordination. He gets in and out of his breaks as good as anybody we've got. But consistently, when we named him the most outstanding player on offense for spring practice, he was the most productive. He's caught the most balls in fall camp of any other receiver. He's got the highest catch percentage of any receiver. He's a redshirt freshman. Cholo came. Did Cholo win the trivia competition? Where's all my people? Did he? Yeah. So, actually, let me take that back. I won the competition. All right, I won the trivia. I finished first in the trivia. No. I didn't know the questions, so I won the trivia competition, and Cholo finished second. But Cholo won as the players, so he gets. I didn't take the rewards. He gets the points for his team. Yeah, he came through in the trivia last night. If he does, now this has been we play Trojan games all during fall camp, so you all know. So what we do is we played basketball last night. At some point, we'll do a home run derby. We do a chip shot with golf. We do all kinds of games. And now this has been a competition that the quarterbacks and specialists play together, and they've really owned the Trojan games over the last 2 or 3 years. But the defensive line's had a couple key wins early, so they may be a threat. As much as I'd like to hate on Silvers, he's definitely the best shooter on the team last year. Last night when we played knockout, TJ Harris won. Came down to who finished? Was it Dunlap? Who finished second last night? Caleb Barker finished second. Dunlap finished third, but T.J. Harris, true freshman T.J. Harris, won the knockout game. Tron had a couple nice dunks. Dunlap had a nice dunk. No. Sawyer's in the back. He'll own that he doesn't have a very good basketball shot. He'll take ownership on that. Yeah, well, I think a couple things. I got to know Brian over the last 3 or 4 years. Really respected what they were doing at Opelika. Thought it was really beneficial that he was able to go into that role at Auburn as an analyst. And if you look at the people that have been in that analyst role at Auburn have gone on to be really successful. So I think that was a benefit. And we lost, off our staff last year. We lost John Summerall, Todd Watson, Kenny Edfield. We lost some of our, in Kenny and Todd, we lost some of our veteran presence. And when we lost Todd, we lost somebody that had a ton of Alabama high school coaching experience. And Todd had been on the board for the coaches. And I thought it was a great fit because Brian had been on that board. Really, he does a good job of connecting with people. So he was well respected with the coaches in the state. So I thought it fit there. I really felt like after the interview too, he would add some dimensions to the run game, which he has. And he's done a great job recruiting. If you look at who we have committed for this class, he has several of them that are in his area. So he's done a great job all the way through. Anybody? That's it? All right. No, you're fine. Yeah, so the benefit to Travion is he was here in January, so he went through he was recovering from a foot injury in January, so he got into our winter program late, was kind of on and off, got to practice toward the end of the spring, made some plays, made several plays in the spring game. Went through our summer program, which I thought was beneficial. Got into fall camp, had a cramping issue, missed I think either 4 or 5 practices, but he's been back. I thought he had his best day today of fall camp. Caught a big ball the other night on Thursday night, but he made a couple of really nice plays today, and he's a guy that needs to continue to do that. The push on him is he's got to be well-rounded. He's got to block. He's got to do some of the other things. There's no question with the ball in his hands, he's got an opportunity to make an impact.